Hey there! Are you looking for a fun and practical DIY project? Why don't you come with me and learn how to make a line drawstring bag? These bags are not only super helpful for organizing your stuff, but they are also pretty and make great gifts. Let me show you how it's done. Cut two rectangles measuring 6.5 for 16.5 inches, one lining and one main fabric. Place the rectangles with the right size of the fabrics facing together and stitch along the pinned edges using a straight stitch at 1/4 of an inch of seam allowance. Repeat this on both ends of the rectangles. After sewing, remove the pins and open up the seam allowance. Press the seam open using a hot iron at a low temperature to ensure it lays flat. Align the back pieces with the right sides together using the seams as a guide and make these marks on the main fabric. Mark on the edges 2 inches and then 1/2 of an inch. The space between these marks is the space you are going to leave open. This will only be on the main fabric side. Now that you know that, sew the sides with a seam allowance of 1/4 of an inch. Then cut the corners of the seam allowances and press the seams open with the help of a pressing tool. As you can see here, I left the 1/2 of an inch space open on the main fabric side. Do the same thing on the other side. I know how crazy this is going to sound, but now we need to turn our piece right side out through the space we left open on the sides. In my case, I'm using a plastic straw. I use this straw for so many hacks in sewing. Push the lining through the opening, and when you have enough of the lining out there, just use your fingers very carefully to pull the rest of the bag out. Now, place the lining inside the bag and use your iron to press the top seams nice and flat. To sew the casing for our strings, mark on both sides a horizontal line joining the top of the opening with the opposite side of the top opening. Then do the same thing with the bottom opening. Now, sew a straight seam on top of both parallel lines around the opening of the bag. Start with the closest to the edge and then the other one that is a 1/2 of an inch apart. You will end up with something like this. Each end of the string has to get through the opposite opening, the casing, in the shape of a U. Starting from one side, insert one of the strings into the bag's front casing until it goes out of the opposite opening. Use your loop turner or your elastic threader to make this step easier. If you don't have any of these tools, you can also use a safety pin. Now, take the opposite end of the string and insert it through the back casing of the bag, so it comes out from the same side at the other end. For any drawstring bag, you have two options for the strings. One is to have a single string like we have right now, and the other option is to have a double pull string like our bag. To do that, we basically need to repeat the same steps we did for the single string, but starting from the opposite side of the openings. I'm going to leave all the links for these tools and the materials used in this video, plus other additional resources for drawstring bags in the description of this video. Check that it works as it's supposed to, and then the only thing I like to finish with is to first cut the excess of the strings. I like to leave a length of about 6 inches, and then I will tie both ends with a knot and burn the raw edges of the strings or ribbons. And that's it! You learned how to sew a line drawstring bag. Check out more resources and tutorials for drawstring bags on the complete post at mygoldenthimble.com. Hey, don't leave without giving us a like and a follow if you enjoyed this tutorial. Happy sewing!